Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Jake's back, Trev's back, BBD's here, I'm here, and Ohtani's still going to the Dodgers. Let's talk all about it. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. It's December 11th. SeatGeek is your main sponsor. We appreciate you for joining. We've got some more stuff to chat about. Maybe. Mostly, we're all back. Vacations are done. Jake is looking as tan as ever. Trev's going. Trev got the black hoodie memo, but didn't get the no hat memo. We all got different memos. Jake, how was your vacation?
James, Trevor, BBD, was that Talking Baseball music hitting a little different this morning?
It was loud.
It kind of was, but maybe that's just because the offseason's actually going to start rolling. The two boulders have moved, Juan Soto to Trev's Yanks, and then Ohtani to the blue team, the Dodgers. Man, I'm doing great. I was little honeymoon, good relaxation. Before that was at a ball player wedding. I was pseudo Trevor Plouffe. I was like Trevor Plouffe if he lost like from the knee down. My boy Archer's there and Jack Flaherty, my guy, and Glasnow. It was incredible. It was an incredible trip. Always miss bopping with the boys, but and then a nice little some R&R after that. But yeah, we've got more baseball allies. It was basically a business trip for me. Pete Crow Armstrong, formerly Trev's guy, now my guy. And it was just nuts. I mean, the whole weekend was crazy. Shout out to Colin V on the wedding. Another one of my weddings. This one was a little different. But no, it was insane. You turn the corner, there's Bobby Dahlback. Talked with him for a little bit. And there's just dudes like Luplow, Nottingham. I don't even know. It was insanity. A lot of baseball was talked, but I'm excited to talk ball with my girls. So, Trev, how are you?
I didn't know PCA was going to be at the wedding, or else I would have just punted my sick kids and said, "See ya, I'm out of here." Unfortunately, I had to stay home from the wedding, but it's okay. I send my love, and you had a good time in my stead. And yeah, man. We James and I and BBD and even C Rose came on this show. We talked a lot about Ohtani and Soto and all the moves that have gone on. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts because you've had a few days to marinate on those thoughts, Poppy. So I got the shower video, the Juan Soto premature shower video. Not the first time been premature in the shower, but
Usually actually adds time for him.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of moves still to be made. I think part of the episode is going to be us kind of like talking about what we think's happening next, right, James?
Yeah, I think so. And Trev was actually late on the Soto things. Just all the reporters were also late.
That's true.
Me and Trev both
you had it first.
Me and Trev both half salty. We just like being in the game, waiting for those final Soto details. No, that was awesome. I'm obviously happy for my Yanks. We'll be doing some more Talking Yanks on that, so go check that out. They just needed one of the best left-handed bats ever to become an average lineup again. So hopefully the Yankees are back at it. And my guy Yamamoto, hopefully he's the next thing to drop. It's going to be crazy. I really want to talk with you guys. I think his number is currently flying up. Shohei getting to $700 million. The $700 million is awesome. It's crazy. I was a little shocked by it. I was kind of expecting 6, but I still think even seeing a baseball player getting $600 million, that had its own shell shock. That when it was 700 mil, he goes to the team that we all thought. I mean, that was the thing. I did Wake and Jake this morning with Beebs. I wasn't as in tune with the constant refreshing, although I was. Like, we are ruined by cell phones. Like, think about when you go on vacation. Like, it's not like, let me put my phone away and go talk to a stranger. It's like, no, I'm going to listen to the music or podcasts I want to listen to. I'm going to text my buddies when I want. Like, I don't know. Phones have kind of ruined that. Like, I went on vacation. I met Jim and Hannah from Toronto. And you know what? They love They love cricket too. So I was in tune, but I wasn't doing the constant updates. Toronto was never happening for me. Even on the plane ride, people were texting me and they were like, why aren't you guys reporting he's signing with Toronto? And I was like, this is one of the most unique free agencies ever. Why wouldn't he? I thought he was going to the Dodgers. Why wouldn't he, even if he was on that flight, which update, he was not, wouldn't it be worth it to try to get another 1 year, $70 million out of the Dodgers if that's what was happening? I don't know.
Might have been what happened.
It could have been. And I don't know. For me, again, and I wasn't on the pulse constantly just uploading the timeline and all that. But for me, all these details were coming out a couple days after Dave Roberts got scolded for saying they had a good meeting. I understand there's the flight tracker stuff, and I honestly love that part of it. Like when the college coaching carousel starts going in football, and it's like, oh, Jimbo Fisher's on a flight to A&M. Like I love that part of it. But the fact that they said the decision was coming imminent, who did that come from? Because that either came from Ohtani's camp or a team's camp. But I thought we weren't leaking details on that. And then there was the whole dinner reservation and that stuff. So like for this whole secretive operation, there started to be a lot of details that came out.
There wasn't though.
So you think it was
a
play? You're now your team Toronto that you think they played.
Okay.
With the audience.
Conspiracies are coming. Okay.
I
Did
thought
Herjavec is a CAA client? That's what they're saying.
I don't think it was that. I think it was just. I think the word imminent getting leaked out, that was the part that was getting overlooked to me. Because nothing else, nothing was supposed to be a leak. Dave Roberts got fake crushed by people for saying they had a good meeting. And now we're getting detail. It's going to be imminent. Here it comes. Oh, Toronto, this team that's always supposedly has a ton of money. And you do, Toronto, and you guys are going to spend it someday, and I'm excited for you to it. But Shohei to Toronto, and in my head, it was never happening. Again, I was on vacation. I wasn't as locked in as I normally was. But for me, that wasn't happening until it happened. And don't get me wrong, signings like this, like Cano to Seattle a few years back, like that didn't seem real until it was. Toronto's going to get their big fish, and they've already gotten Ryus and Springers and guys like that. Shohei Ohtani was one of the most unique free agencies ever. There's a business side to it that I always thought there was going to be a wild card team that appeared because there's a financial equation to this. It was going to be the Dodgers, and it was just a number that we didn't factor, $700 million. So I'll watch the top of that lineup.
There's so much to like go into. Like now that we've had a few days with this, I don't subscribe to any conspiracy theories that Nesbolello sent Robert Herjavec on a plane to Toronto. Guess what, guys? He's got a house there. Okay. He also has a house here. He is my good buddy. And actually, I'm going to call for our audience to do one thing. I never do this. Leave a comment. Would you rather have us try to get Shohei's agent, Nesbolello, on the show, or my guy, Robert Herjavec, on the show? Let us know. We're going to try to make one of those happen. And we got to do it quickly. Let me just say this about the secrecy and all of this that surrounded Shohei's free agency. People are like, oh, well, obviously it didn't matter. Dave Roberts leaked information. He still went to the Dodgers. That's not the information that they were trying to withhold. They didn't want numbers out there because once... And I'm surprised that no team just like leaked a number. Like a team that actually wasn't in the race, I'm surprised they didn't just leak a number. Like, hey, owner of the, whatever, the Rockies, float a number out there for us because we need to like get this number down. That's what they were trying to avoid. They did not want, 10 years, 550s out there. Okay, that's what he's worth. And someone pointed this out to me on Twitter. It was about what was Shohei worth to your team. Now that there was no numbers out there that we didn't know what he was worth to the general baseball world, what's he worth to you? That's what made this happen, dude. And obviously there's all the international streaming and all that stuff that comes along with it. But 10 years, 700, even with the deferrals, I don't think he gets that if it's a normal type of free agency where we got Joe whatever leaking the numbers out from each team. So I think the plan all along was just to not have those numbers out and make teams actually submit a real free agent offer with no, collusion. That's in quotes, people. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when teams put those numbers out, that's just to restrict, the number for getting higher, basically. And they didn't do that this time.
It did come out at one point that like it has to start with 6. I don't know who said that or something, or if it was real, but who knows? I mean, as for the imminent, that literally could have just been Morosi following the plane tracker and being like, I fucking subscribe to this. The decision is imminent, and trying to get on it first. He had to apologize for it, which is funny.
Not the imminent. He apologized for the plane.
What, isn't that all the same thing?
He had that in quotes, like he was hearing that from people.
Sneaky, my favorite part of this free agency was the beat reporters being like, I don't know what to do. This is not fair to us. I love that they were doing that.
I just like plane day. That was the most fun.
Just weird. The only day with rumors was the day before he signs.
Was there a better person?
I think they had to do it with each other, but maybe not a preemptive have to do with each other, but a Shohei being like, all right, shit. That was crazy. I don't want that to happen again.
After the show Judgy put on last year, where he played his cards perfectly, where he won the Man of the Year, he was at the Sunday night football game, and then he showed up at winter meetings right before his trip to Hawaii, and he really tightened the screws on the Yanks. Negotiations about leverage. I think a day of fear helped.
Oh, absolutely. We were at winter meetings in December of 2019 when everyone was like, Cole is going to the Yankees. It's done. It's going to get announced at 3, whatever. And then you saw Cashman. You saw everyone walk around smiley. And then it went and everyone was gone. And everyone was like, uh-oh, it's not happening anymore. And what happened was they used the Angels as leverage, but the Angels weren't actually close. And the Yankees raised their number and outbid. I forget what it was. It was like $90 million. It was a ton of money that they outbid the Angels by. And yeah, that's like, oh, we're close. No panic. The Dodgers did say they read all the reports and had a meeting Friday night to be like, what is this? And ultimately decided they didn't believe it. But it was a stir, which is fun. Give me the documentary on it in a little bit.
The team that Ohtani wanted to be on, the team that wanted Ohtani the most, the team that the financial equation made the decision most sense, probably that or a New York team. There's probably a combo there. It all ended up making sense.
What did you see?
$700 million.
Did you see Cohen said he didn't even get asked? Well, I think New York was out.
Yeah. They were never in.
Yeah. He didn't want to play in New York.
Neither New York team.
And now Yamamoto's, you said you think it's going to go up? I think it's a Hal Cohen bidding war.
I want to close the loop on the Dodgers a little bit because, again, PB and Jelly, you boys got to talk about it. But if it happened on Sunday, C. Rose wouldn't have been able to, and I know how much testosterone that puts into his pencil. For the Dodgers, I think the Mookie Betts thing, playing second base, I think that's a farce. I think we're going to put that in the winter meetings off-season lie column. I don't think they trust – I think they love Gavin Lux. I think coming off of an ACL and him never having played a full season at shortstop, I don't have him as their shortstop. I still think there's a move coming. Right now they have Hayward and Chris Taylor as their starting outfielders. I think that's a perfect Dodgers platoon, and they love those guys being versatile. I still think Corbin Burns and like Willie Adames would be a perfect fit there. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we know the Dodgers are going to get, at least 2 pitchers, if not 3. And I still think they're going to get a shortstop too, because moving a generational defensive right fielder to second base, I know he's Mookie. I know he can do everything. But I still think the Dodgers are going to make that infielder move. And that was Dave Roberts playing the poker game a little bit. So
they need pitching, though, so I think that's going to be the next step.
Right.
There's already rumored trade between the Yankees and them, just for this 40-man, sending 2 40-man.
They'd be clearing the roster spots for Kelly and Tom.
Yeah, they had to need to clear it and sending them to the Yankees in return for a prospect. Those kind of came and went. Maybe people aren't that interested, or they're not going to happen. I don't know.
They're probably not guys we care about.
Yeah.
Either way.
Seen the Dodgers trade for a starting pitcher and a shortstop before. I think they might do it again.
As far as Mookie, I play baseball for a long time, guys. I don't know which one's easier on your body, second base or
It's a
right
fun
field.
convo, right? I was thinking that today. I don't know.
Depends where your home dugout is.
The second base might be easier on your body, especially now with the new rules where you can't get taken out at second base. Like the guy's got to slide right into the base. that used to be the biggest fear of a second baseman is I'm going to get blown up a few times a year. That doesn't happen anymore. So now he's not diving for balls full speed in the outfield. Like diving in the infield is way different than diving for a ball in the outfield. I mean, you're much closer to the ground, if that makes any sense, when you're diving on the infield, and it's dirt, so you kind of slide a little bit. The outfield, I feel like second base is safer. So maybe he does stay there, man. I'm telling you, he's done well enough, and if they need to move him, they can move him. But I think maybe that just depends on if they get any deal, like you said, done. But I think they are okay with him being at second base.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Yankees are okay with Judge being at center field for half a season, and that seems a little crazier than Mookie being at second. So just have to wait and see. Dodgers have to make more moves, though. They need pitching. And it is fun because they have so many, we were texting about this, they have so many pitchers returning in 2025 that they kind of have an awesome window for 1-year deals. And they could go get all your buddies, Trev. They could go get Glass now, which rumors are starting that he's going to get traded there. It just makes so much sense. They can get Flaherty.
My buddies.
They can get Flaherty. Yeah. They can get Giolito. All these LA boys. You want to come home for a year? Work on your health and your mindfulness and be at your roots and utilize our pitching department to get you back into full swing before you go to free agency again. Here you go.
It seems like the market has been set a little bit with some of these guys. Like Gibson gets a 1-year deal. Lance Lynn gets a 1-year deal. And I know Flaherty and Giolito are younger, so maybe they command a few years. But I think coming off the seasons that both of them did, like that's a possibility that they want the platform year again, try to get back and re-enter the free agent pool next year. But you're right. I mean, if we're looking at 1-year deals, that's perfect for the Dodgers because I think we dismiss the Dodgers starting pitching a little bit too easily now. I know there's a lot of question marks, but like everybody was a young pitcher when they were a young pitcher, and then you turn into somebody good. I mean, who are we to say that these young guys that like Pepio last year, like at the end of the year, he looked really good. And then you have, a couple guys who came up and weren't that good last year, Gavin Stone and Sheehan, like those guys could make adjustments and get better. And we could be looking at this rotation next year with these guys being, oh, actually it's pretty damn good. If Buehler comes back and looks anything like he used to look, and Bobby Miller had a very successful rookie campaign, like they have depth pieces, but I do agree that they'd want a few sure things in there for next year.
Especially how much
then they'll
money
get all
they're
those guys
spending.
back. Yeah.
I think it's at least one sure thing, whether that's Burns or Glass now. And then we do need to respect like what the Dodgers pitching factory was, that they'll bring in MLB bodies. And you are right, Trev, though. I mean, if an Emmett Sheehan breaks camp with the Dodgers and he's their fifth starter, I'll be like, okay, so he's one of the guys they believe in. But I don't know. I think with the way, especially they can package a trade with a team like the Brewers who value bodies, like they could give them 3, solid prospects instead of the like 1 nuclear prospect. It just makes too much sense in my head, but we will see.
You still think you like the Burns and Willie?
It makes a ton of sense in my head.
Willie Burns?
Willie. Corbin Adames? It's a weird one. That's nothing.
You guys want to mention the other signings that have happened? Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Oh, no.
We have the Yankees-Dodgers trade.
Oh, God.
Yankees are sending the Dodgers Trey Sweeney, which is actually a pretty big prospect. And the Yankees receive Victor Gonzalez as the bullpen option that was reported to be involved, and they get Jorbit Vivas.
Woo!
Yes.
Does that do anything for you guys? Because I don't know anything about that.
No.
Yankees needed a lefty reliever, and Gonzalez.
Yeah, that replaces Wandy if they want
an option to replace.
Yeah.
And I think he's got options, so.
Yankees had a lot of room on their 40-man, so they were just available for trades like these.
Yeah.
Position themselves very well for that.
Trey Sweeney.
Some say he had the best lefty swing in the organization, Trev.
There are some trades that went down I think that are worth discussing, and a few signings. I think the Tyler O'Neill to the Red Sox is interesting. He got his way out of St. Louis, and you talk about a change of scenery for a guy. That could be maybe the best thing to ever happen to him. Clearly there was some something going on between him and at least Ollie Marmol. Who knows who else in that organization? But he gets a fresh start, and I think that's honestly a great trade for the Red Sox, bringing him in. I think he's got a lot of, obviously a lot of potential. We've seen what he can do at the big league level when he's firing. Seems like a really good fit for them. And in an offseason where they need to do a lot more than just Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah, I wish I had thoughts on that trade. I don't have many. I don't know what the Red Sox are up to, I guess.
You'd like to know what the rest of the Red Sox puzzle looks like. Hey, you're bringing in a guy with a lot of potential, MLB proven potential that you're saying with a change of scenery, and you didn't give up a big package, that you're excited for that. I don't know. I don't know what Tyler O'Neill's going to be for them. I think the other thing that the Red Sox have just changed their front office, but even if Tyler O'Neill, let's say he's balling out, which I'll root for if they're not playing the Yankees, he's got a little bit of an injury history too, and I feel like a lot of the recent Red Sox moves, mostly pitching, have had a lot of injury risk to it. So I don't know. You get a guy that's got a chance to pop off, and that's probably more than you can say for the prospects that went over. So
who do you think? Are you on Red Sox Fangraphs page?
I'm not.
Who does Fangraphs have as their starting right fielder as we sit here and chat?
Well, it probably has.
Isn't Duran maybe?
They have
Duran
in center.
Duran in center.
Yoshida's in left, and then
Yoshida they have at DH.
They have my DH.
They have Tyler O'Neill
So
at
they have
left
Tyler
now.
O'Neill in left. So Yoshida will play some out there. Right field, Rob Refsnyder.
No, they have him outfield bench. They have Wilyer Abreu. Yeah. Is it Wilyer? Is it Wilyer?
Prospect season.
Do you pronounce it Wilyer?
I don't know how else you'd
Wilyer. Wheelyer is Baseball Reference says Wheelyer.
That makes sense.
Wheelyer.
I like that.
Had a nice cup of coffee last year, Jimbo.
Venezuela.
28 games, 862 OPS.
I just would not ever have guessed that. So, Yamamoto, I think, is the next move for the starting pitching department. After that, I think Snell and Monty go.
Yeah, I wanted. I guess my question I wanted to bring to the table with you guys, because I was enjoying it like a fan. New episode drop. Let me listen to it. And make sure you guys go to the shop.johnboymedia.com. Get yourself some clothes merch for the holidays. Perfect stocking stuffers. Or if you buy $10,000 worth of merch and you show the screenshot to Jimmy, he'll follow you on Instagram.
No, in person.
In person. He'll follow you for a day.
I'll show up and follow you.
I think the Shohei number, because a lot of things. He pitches and hits, which no other player does right now. So that's big. He does both of those at a very high level. He's 28, 29, and just superstar potential with the hitting pitching thing and the fact that he's international. He's from Japan. He taps into a whole nother market over there. The business side is going to make sense however his baseball side pans out. For me, if I'm Yamamoto, the price went up. The price went up because I am 25. If you had to pick a pitcher for the next 10 years, or you're picking Ohtani or Yamamoto, and I tap into that same market. I know I'm not a star yet over here, but they know me over there. And you guys are so if you're willing to give me $250 million, which we at first it was, is he going to get 200? Then I think it went to, is he going to get 300? When we're knifing up the Ohtani numbers, and it's okay, I think he got $400 million to be a hitter and $300 million to be a pitcher. If I'm Yamamoto, I'm out pitching that guy for the next decade, and I'm tapping into those same ad deals.
You don't know that. Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta step in. I want this guy to be great, and I know what he's done in Japan. I know the numbers and the data and everything is there. We're able to probably evaluate a little bit better now because of all the numbers that we have, especially guys coming over from Japan who haven't really been in the big leagues for a full season or at all. I get the WBC is there, but it's not a for sure thing. It's never a for sure thing.
Neither is Ohtani's pitching.
Well, Ohtani, when he came over, wasn't a sure thing. I mean, do you remember Mad Dog and whoever the hell else that was talking about him? The Yankees, thank God they dodged that bullet, all this stuff. I'm curious to see what he gets. I don't think his market is affected by Shohei's whatsoever. That's a completely different thing.
Really?
I get all that stuff that you're talking about. The Japanese audience, 25. That's all baked into the numbers already. They didn't see Ohtani at 700 and say, "Oh, actually, we want 500 or 400." No, he's going to get what he was going to get already. I don't think Ohtani and him are correlated whatsoever. Not at this point. Maybe if he comes over here and balls out, then yeah, we start putting them together. But not now. I don't think it matters in his negotiations whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't think that the business of Ohtani is rivaled by any baseball player or football player in the U.S. You have to go international soccer player to get like what Ohtani is bringing, money, dollars and cents, and like the advertisement money. I don't know if Yamamoto
Can we get a
does
freaking
that.
New Balance shoe? Can we get an Ohtani shoe, New Balance? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on with that?
Now, I do think that Yamamoto's price is going up. I don't think it has to do with Ohtani's number. I think it's because Hal and Cohen are going to
What's the numbers right now? What's being
supposedly
floated?
the Dodgers.
Just going to raise it up.
Are we talking, are they talking 10? What's the numbers that have been leaked? 10 years, 250? Is it 10 years, 3?
I've got him over 300 now. If I'm his agent, so let's think about this, and let's say before the Ohtani number came out, if we said, hey, he lands at 250, we all would have been mentally like, okay, yeah, he's young. We've figured this out now, blah, blah, blah. Like, the scouting's gotten a lot better. I mean, man, I just don't know. If I was his agent, which, Yami, if you want to reach out, I'm here. I would be saying Shohei Ohtani just got paid $300 million. I know there's a business side to it, but I can also tap into some of that business side. He just got paid $300 million to be a pitcher, and all of you are projecting me to have better pitching results and health than he's going to have for the next 10 years. It's an easy starts with 3 for me, and I think there's a chance does Cole have the biggest pitching contract ever?
Yeah, but I also think the deferments help them get to 700, and I don't think anyone else is going to
right.
do
We
that.
don't know what those are yet, so
unprecedented.
Right.
Unprecedented.
I mean, I don't know how do you get to 3 with him? You'd have to. That's a 10-year, $300 million, 30 a year. I get he's young. I think that's the biggest thing is he's 25.
10 year 300 for
pretty wild.
A player that's never put in MLB is insane.
I want everyone to get paid, people. I really do. I'm curious. I hope he does. I hope he does.
But
it's different. It's different thing. Did he carve up USA Baseball or something in the WBC?
I think so.
I don't know, man.
Can we check that, please?
Because the ball gets bigger and you get Tommy John. It's like that happens. Or you get hurt. Tanaka, Ohtani, like
we just had Senga ball out. Like Ohtani just gets paid. I think this is a perfect storm for Yamamoto.
I agree. I'm just saying.
Yoshida balled out as well.
That's what I was talking about with the market.
What did the Mets give Ghost Fork Senga?
It's like 5 for 75 or something. It's looking like one of the best contracts in baseball right now.
Damn. I'm interested. I hope it happens. The Yankees are meeting with him today. Boom, boom.
Woo!
So we'll lock that up. Belly will go. The hitting is just all trades. The pitching is really what you're interested in.
I think Belly got a boost too. I could be totally wrong.
Everybody's got a boost.
I constantly admit that. But if I'm Cody Bellinger and saw Belly, Trev, it was the only time I missed you at the wedding. It was the only time I missed you. We walk up the first the day of the beach. There's a welcome party later. So like I'm playing it cool. I know I've got a long day ahead of me. I can't let the drinks start flowing yet. Walk up to the beach, and Belly's just working on his swing. And if I was with you, we walk in there. We're talking hitting. I'm not going to walk up.
right away.
Hey, Cody, how you doing, man? Working on your
Not with
swing.
that voice.
So that was the only time I missed you. But if I'm Cody Bellinger, I'm saying, hey, I play defense too. Shohei's just going to DH.
I think Shohei's getting like.
Oh, now everyone's putting Shohei down?
I think Shohei's getting 450 for his baseball abilities, and then I think his business took it to like 600, and then the deferments were like, okay, let's just add on 20 mil for the next 10 years if that gets you there.
Well, that's why if I'm
and no other player has the deferments and the business.
If I'm Yamamoto, I can tap into that business. I'll tell you I can tap into that business.
I don't think so.
And if I'm Belly, I'll tell you I'll catch anything in the air.
It's like saying like Patrick Ewing could tap into Michael Jordan's business. Like it's like they're different levels.
I think that's very different.
Nice analogy right there, James. I like that. Way to go,
We're
cross
talking
sports.
international.
Let's bring this to a
Japan.
whole different level because we're talking about baseball competition and all this. Great. What does this mean for Scott Boras? What is he gonna do now? Because you think he likes
He's gonna ruin. He's gonna
specifically
ruin.
Nez Balello.
He's gonna ruin Soto's winter.
Guaranteed.
He's going to ruin
like
Juan
that.
Soto's winter.
He doesn't like it. He likes when he has the best seats in the house at the Dodger game. Guess who's gonna have the best seats in the house now? It ain't gonna be Boras. They're at least gonna be the same front row right there. It's going to be interesting to see how he reacts to this because and I actually like Scott. Scott's been very, very nice to me. It hurts to see that 700 number and know that he's never even come close to that. And he didn't get Ohtani in the first place. That's always stung. And then for him to be who everyone thought he was going to be, or some people thought he was going to be, I guess, and to get 10 years, 700, that's got to eat at him so much, dude.
No, second best. What can you do?
First is the worst. Second is the best.
Yeah. Well,
Robert
we will
heard
be
you
we'll be here when stuff happens.
Yeah.
I got like 5 more big things. Well, there's trades we don't know about. Maybe 3 more big things, and then a bunch of kind of that's fun.
Can I ask one question of Jake before we end this episode? It's a C. Rosie question. I asked Jimmy this. Shohei's on the Dodgers now. I think he wasn't when I initially asked him this. Where do the Snakes and the Dodgers, like, where are they in the pecking order in the NL West? Now, Snakes signed Erod to a 4-year deal. They might have 4 like legit pitchers in that rotation. The Dodgers do not. Their lineup is pretty much set. They don't need to make any moves. The bullpen's good. Do you have them as currently constructed? Snakes above Dodgers?
For regular season, it's Dodgers 1, Snakes 2.
Okay.
Mookie, Freddie, Shohei.
Will Smith.
That's
Don't
before
forget Will Smith, people.
Before Will Smith, Muncy, and then wherever you want to go with it. Like they're freak
I think the
shows.
Snakes are closer than a lot of people think. Especially if Brandon Pfaadt is who we think he is, or who he was in the playoffs.
As of right now, yes. Come spring training, no.
Such a C. Rose question.
I agree with Jake. Subscribe to the show. You guys are the best. Cracked my back.
Nice.
Where's this guy going? Where are you going, Longo? Dodgers, obviously. Shortstop.
Back to Tampa.
Him and Glass down together.